Welcome back for another episode of Inspired Chats. We have Mr. Paul Harper, aka It's Us, and we're going to talk about his truck. So, who are you? What truck is it?
Hey, I'm Paul.
Hi.
From Sydney, Australia.
Well, obviously relaxed.
Yeah. Well.
You're looking pretty relaxed.
Yeah. No. Thanks. Thanks, boys. I'm the first Relax Atmosphere Australian petitioner. That all went down in 2019.
I think it was around that time.
2020. No, it's definitely 2019 because COVID has ruined everything. But
yes.
Yeah, it definitely brought a tear to my eye when the boys decided they wanted to make me the first positioner. And credit to Sean Dougal for helping me build the Ranger, even though the original project truck was a 78 F100.
Yeah, they changed.
Yeah, it doesn't look like an F100.
Well, it looks like a Chrysler 300C now.
Yeah.
It went from F truck to Chrysler.
Nice front end.
So what? How did the Ranger come about to actually start building that?
I kind of got talked out of it. I got talked out of building the F100, and I got told that the Ranger was different and nobody's really done one before, so I thought...
Well, there's not many out there anymore. Well, at the moment there still isn't many out there. There's Dan
exactly.
Wright's, and then there's
Dan
Kai's.
Wright's.
Oh, that's BT50. Doesn't really count.
There was one down in Tasmania, part of Sinister, which is bare metal. I'm not sure where it's ended up. But yeah, so...
That was a while ago,
as like to date, I'm pretty sure mine is the only one that's driving daily.
Which, we'll talk about that now. Like, you've driven it everywhere. You've driven it from Sydney to Wrongturn.
Wrongturn, which was the
Rockhampton,
Vale.
And then Tasmania.
Yeah. Drove down to Tassie, driven to ECC and Jindabyne. I'd love to go to Flatline show in WA sometime. But
there's a few people that have mentioned that.
That's a big trip, and it's definitely going to be stockies on the Ranger driving over the
Nullarbor.
The Nullarbor, and
down the hay plains and everything.
Yep, and lots of jerry cans in the back.
There was a little story that happened at Island Fever one year with your battery tray. Or was that Wrongturn?
No, that was Island Fever.
It was Island Fever.
I had Bryn Cumbridge in the car with me, riding co-pilot.
Wombat.
Yeah, Wombat. Bootsy and Jim were in Lowberg, and they met us at Archie's Burgers out at Tarrant Point, and where we used to have burgers every Wednesday night, catch up with all the boys. It's like a mini car show every week. But we departed from Tarrant Point at probably 9 p.m. on the Wednesday night to drive through the night to get to Melbourne, to get to the ports early, and so we didn't have to rush and relax and all that sort of stuff. And we were around Albury, Wodonga area, and I noticed there was a nice, very, very smooth section of road, and I thought, I'm going to set the highway on fire.
Well, as Americans call it, a forest fire.
Yeah, forest fire. And so I said, I called Jim Davies, hands free, nothing illegal, and said, get in front of me, I want your video, I want to drag the freeway on fire. And got about 30 seconds into the drag, and because I turned my headlights off and only had my parkers, didn't notice the road change. And there was about an inch and
mistake.
There was about an inch and a bit step. And I heard a monstrous bang, and I thought, holy crap, I've destroyed the truck. And we pulled over into a truck stop. I got underneath it and noticed that something was leaking, and it turned out to be battery acid. I'd gone through my drag blocks, and when Sean Dougal and I built the Ranger, we decided, let's lay the battery tray flat with the chassis rail. because that's the smartest thing ever to do.
Well, it might have seemed logical at the start.
It
but
was
not
logical
now.
at the time, but yeah. Long story short, I told the boys I wasn't stopping, and yeah, we got down to Melbourne. One of the boys down in Melbourne hooked us up with one of his mates at Bow Repairs and hooked us up with a cheap battery. And I had the car almost on its side while the boys drank beers inside the pub while I was getting covered in battery acid.
Well, that's just what everyone does, right?
Yeah.
Well, beer's the first priority.
They were being generous and bringing out jugs of water to throw over myself while I was getting covered in battery acid, but
Oh, that's alright then.
but yeah, Jim
It's better than nothing.
Jim saved the day by pinching some old bloke's hose from his front lawn so we could hose all underneath afterwards and wash the trucks and all that sort of stuff while we waited for everybody else to get down to Melbourne. But no, it was definitely a good trip. We
But that's what it's all about, though. Like going on long trips and having these little, sort of, I wouldn't say errors, faults happen.
if I could do it again, I wouldn't do it. It just cost me more money on the trip.
Well, that's true, yeah. But think of the memory and the story you got now.
Yeah. I don't know. Like when we unveiled it at Rockhampton, it was smooth sailing the whole way. Like it was finished 16 hours before we'd left Sydney to drive the 21-hour trip to Rockhampton, and not one hiccup the whole way.
Well, that's alright
And
then.
that there's a credit to Sean Dougal.
Yeah, 100%. And if people don't know who Sean Dougal is, he owns Frontiera. That's a bit different than anything else.
I can't wait to come to WA, mate, and drive it again.
He's got to come back over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better be bringing
Dougal, you
it
gotta come back.
mate.
ECC this year, you got to be back.
Yeah.
Show coverage coming this year. So we've got East Coast Cruise back,
Yeah.
and we've got the Rusty's River Run.
Yeah.
How do you think East Coast is going to go this year?
I cannot wait. So every year I go down and I do the Friday morning meet at Pheasant's Nest service station and cruise down with all the guys. But I think this year I'll be doing the day early
Yeah, the Thursday.
and getting down there because the cruise down is great on the Friday morning. Like I don't knock it, but there's still so much I miss every year by not getting down there the day before.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down the day before.
meeting up with all the Melbourne guys and going to Burger Beers and seeing Jack just do something silly at the burger shop.
Which is a good effort by him too,
Yeah,
every year.
Yeah. I wonder if he ever got that hot dog eating champion sister's number.
I don't know.
Hopefully. But
Well, you got to be in it to win it, I guess.
that's it.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of trucks been in the build the last year because of COVID and everything.
Yep.
Do you think this year's going to be like bigger than the last few years, or do you think it's still going to be the same? I personally think it's going to be bigger.
I personally think it's going to be bigger. There's going to be a lot more old school stuff, I reckon, is going to be showing up. A lot of the old school era seems to be coming back, like paint wise,
Yeah.
small billets, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think the old
OG trucks,
style billets
OG
coming back.
trucks. And so, like, don't get me wrong, when we built the Ranger, Duke said 22's a bust. Like,
Well, I was
Like-
the same with the trial, and I wanted 22s on that.
the wheel arches are so big on the Ranger that he's like, I'm not building it for anything smaller than 22s. And
Yeah.
he tried to convince me 22, 24-inch combo, and I just sold him. I go, man,
That's too big.
I live in the sticks where the roads are covered in potholes, mate.
Well, it's not only that, they're like rubber band tyres on the 24s too.
yeah.
You wouldn't be able to drive anywhere on them. Not in Australia, anyways. We don't have smooth roads here.
No, that's it. No,
Unless you get to
definitely not.
Melbourne, but yeah. Now, Rusty's River Run that's coming up, which is going to be something a bit different. It's not actually a truck show, but there's going to be a lot of customs and everything there. That's going to be a good one.
Good props to Rusty for putting something on earlier than any other shows during the year. Like Halfway Havoc, I haven't heard anything about Halfway Havoc yet. I'm not sure what's going on. But
Well, there's no Cap Jam anymore. There's the Hawkesbury weekend, sort of. Jim hasn't decided on what he wants to do yet.
yeah,
What other shows are there? Island Fever isn't really around anymore.
yeah.
It's more just like a get-together now.
Obviously, Wrong Turn had finished.
Yeah.
Kerry and Joel were focusing on family stuff.
There really isn't anything in the
And then
beginning
there
of the
was
year.
going to be the Forbidden Fantasy show in Queensland, but then that got cancelled due to COVID. So but that was only a biannual show up in Queensland. But
Yeah. And I've been in talks with Kennedy about running an Inspired show over the next year or two, and we don't know if that's going to happen yet. That's the idea. Little secret there.
sounds good.
So there's new builds coming out now. Whose build do you think is going to be stepping up, do you reckon? Like we talked about Jack Merritt with Slutlarks. He just recently painted Low 24/7.
Bo Ramone and Darcy Charters,
Yes.
like,
Just buying everything.
I'm sorry, boys. I wanted to come to Cruise of the Pines, but
Me too.
it just it wasn't in my budget, and
It wasn't feasible either.
I was gonna have Dylan as co-pilot, and he just had knee surgery and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, but props to Bo for buying the Raider.
Oh yeah, that's right. He bought Troy's Raider.
Sneaky boy.
Yeah, the myth, the one
But,
no one ever sees.
But yeah, so no, it's cool, man. Like we got I've got a couple of mates that I haven't seen for 10 years that I met when I first got into mini trucking.
Yeah.
Like a mate called Jake Hoppy, and he just bought Taylor Carlson's old Space Cab Tacoma.
Which is now slowly getting worked
And,
under, which you would have seen in the last video we did.
And yeah, and he's just gone balls to the wall with that thing. He's
That's going to be cool.
like Taylor doesn't even recognize it. But
Well, it's because it's got painted guards now.
well, that's it. But
And a
no,
wash.
it's
Sorry, Taylor.
it's doesn't have any dog hair on nothing anymore.
Yeah, true that.
Just came out of the woodwork out of nowhere, and he was just like, "Man, I want to get back into mini trucking." And like, it's just a testament to the scene. Like, no, it's still in the back of people's minds when they move out of it and they get older, have kids, and then they look back at the time they had when they were younger and they had fun, and they just go, "Well,
I want to bring it back again.
let's have some fun again."
Yeah. All right, then. Well, I think we've done enough talks, I reckon. Had enough chat. Talked about shows, talked about some trucks. I don't know. Thank you for being a part of this one.
Cheers for having us.
You will see him on more episodes later. We will do another Inspired Stories eventually, which you'll find out the full story about the Ranger and him rabbling on.
I like to talk.
Well, till next episode, yeah, keep on trucking.
Peace out.